you were a kid in a play, and that was when you realized, oh, this isn't just for fun. Adults are here too, that you can make money at it?
Yeah, I mean, they weren't making money at it. It was a community theater show, but it was with, there was uh, Dominica and then the guy who was playing my brother, they were both in college for theater. And one day he was backstage looking through a backstage magazine, like the newspaper, the trade paper, and he was pointing it out to me, and that was the moment where I was like, oh, he's doing this as a job. Like this is training for him now, but this is going to be his career. And that was the first time I was like, I mean, of course we all see movies and theater and stuff growing up, but for some reason it took me knowing someone who was going into it for me to put together like, oh, that's an option, you know? Um, and so that, yeah, that was kind of what sparked it. The other thing that happened with that show was um, the writer of the show had been at like all the rehearsals and whatnot, and they were doing a tour of that show. So she asked me to play the kid on the tour that went out. And it was like a big discussion with my family and stuff. We finally came to the point of like, okay, we'll let him try it. And they decided to go with a show that didn't have a kid role because it was easier to tour logistically. So, but kind of getting that encouragement as a 11-year-old, 10-year-old's kid, getting that encouragement saying, hey, you did good at that. You wanted like that step up. Just the vision of that being a possibility kind of sparked me to like, maybe I want to pursue this and see where it could go, you know.
Do you remember that discussion? Was it around the dinner table? Do you remember that day or night?
I mean, it was a couple, like I think it was like 2 or 3 days, and it was really my parents having an adult conversation of like, one of us is going to have to go with him, which would mean giving up our job for the year or whatever it is and become a true stage parent, you know. It was more so them discussing it like adults and me sitting on the other end of the couch being like, I want to do it. I wanted to do it because I was 11 or 10 or whatever, you know. So in my mind, there was no way I couldn't do it because how are we going to say no to this, Mom and Dad? I wasn't thinking, give up your life to come on the road with me, you know. So I'm sure everything works out how it's supposed to, but that was kind of what led me down the road of, one, knowing there was a job there, like that this was a possible career, and two, knowing that was the career I wanted.
Right. So maybe that was also too knowing that, okay, this is going to be his life path.
Yeah.
And it's not always an easy one.
I think what excited my dad at first and then disappointed him was Dominica Scorsese played my sister in that show. That's Martin Scorsese's daughter. And for closing night of the show, he was supposed to fly out to Connecticut, and we were having the cast party, so he was going to come over. So my dad cooked this huge Italian feast, and then he got snowed out of Connecticut. There was a huge snowstorm, like our closing weekend. And so he never came. And so my dad had spent like the whole week before cooking this huge feast. But he thought that was pretty cool. I think that won me some points in him being supportive, you know, just even that possibility there.